Hello, my name is Krista Suter, and this is a presentation of my capstone portfolio, a collection of my work as a Master of Library and Information Science student at Emporia State University. The past years I've been studying, and this portfolio demonstrates the work that I have completed over the past 2 years. Information about me and how I came to be a part of this program is in my introduction page here. I was never quite sure what I wanted to do with my life and struggled to find a path that suited my interests. I knew I wanted to give back to my community, to help others, and to be involved in public education. So one day it suddenly occurred to me that librarianship was just a perfect fit for the path I had been searching for. I had reflected on my previous work in high school at the local library and how much I loved the job, the community, the people, and the passion I felt from the other librarians. I have truly developed a passion of my own for librarianship during the studies at ESU, and I hope that my work in this portfolio will reflect my interests as well as my passions for this field. I am definitely focused on public librarianship and serving special populations. I focus much of my coursework on youth services, in particular young adults. It is my goal to work with these teens in my local community through the public library, offering them the services and resources they need as they merge into adulthood. I really want to be a part of helping and shaping the future of my community, and as I walk you through my portfolio, you will see many of my most important projects that focus on this particular population. Up here at the top, I've just included tabs for the outcomes and values of the profession. Under program outcomes, I've included an artifact for each one as well as a description, but I'll definitely go through the ones that I think best fit my personal interests in terms of librarianship. The first would be information resources. This was a project I was really proud of. It was a group project. It was a really successful group project. Everyone all felt very passionate about serving young adults. We really got in there and tried to come up with an idea that we thought could be practically implemented. So in this particular project, we developed technological services within a library, and this assignment was practical practice in developing programming and grant applications. My group chose to develop a Teen Tech Week in Lawrence Juvenile Detention Center. The goal was to provide technological education and resources to incarcerated teens. The program had the teens read a book and then create various digital projects congruent with that literature. This would encourage literacy, creativity, and technical development for this very special population of teens. So I've included here the presentation we gave based on our program, as well as the grant proposal, and then I also included some digital badges that I had made because this particular project really helped me understand digital badges that are now very popular to be used to promote the education of young adults. So another project that focused on teens that I was quite proud of was for my Young Adult Services course. Basically, we created programming based on a real Kansas City project, the We Are 2 KC project, but we were encouraged to come up with our own programming. So I chose to focus on making zines with teens. The program is basically supposed to promote diversity awareness and equality. So I had them make individual zines that asked them to basically describe themselves without any physical description. And then using pages from these zines would make a collaborative zine to sort of demonstrate young adults within the community that would be free at the library to hand out. The assignment basically required collecting materials, websites, resources, zines, movies that would pertain to this particular program. I also created flyers as well as assessment and budgeting that would be necessary to actually implement this program. One of the ways that I really started to take an interest in teen services was in my research class. I did a literature review of LGBTQ materials that are being offered in public schools and sort of focusing on collection development serving this special population. This was just a really great project that did start having me focus on teen services and meeting their needs and what a collection can do to represent a special population. Continuing on the subject of schools, I also did a poster session with a partner that was also a very successful group project. This particular poster session was focused on collection development. We focused ours on self-censorship within school media centers, especially in terms of children, their intellectual freedoms, how important it is. A lot of the research we had done showed that there is a high level of self-censorship within schools. So our entire poster session really helped us educate others on how to avoid these pitfalls, because it is so important for us to provide equal resources as librarians. Professional values, I've included an artifact for each of these as well. Some of the ones I would highlight would definitely be under leadership. It was another research paper I had done. Since I am interested just in special populations, this was my diverse populations course, and I had done a research paper on resources and services for Native Americans, and then we were also encouraged to create a programming event based on our research. I was just, again, very surprised at the lack of research that is actually out there in terms of meeting the needs of Native Americans, and so this project it created challenges that were great as a student to sort of work beyond the research, come up with a successful program, and it also really inspired me in terms of obtaining my PhD, because this, along with teens, is a special population that I'm very interested in doing further research on. Under mentorship, I included another research paper. It was about the semantic web. I'm not a very technologically savvy person, so I tried to take a variety of courses in technology to better educate myself. The internet's such an important part of libraries today that I just really wanted to know more about what the future holds in terms of internet service. Another reason I think this was an important assignment is because I actually ended up using it as part of my blog, which there's a link here. I was the student ambassador for the Kansas Midwest chapter of the SLA, and so I used this topic to basically create a blog. This was really great in having a communication with other librarians within my community. I've also included a tab that's courses and additional work, and it includes every single course that I took during my time at ESU, as well as additional assignments that I had created for each course. I also included 2 tabs for my practicum and study abroad experience. My practicum experience was absolutely wonderful. I got to go to the Lawrence Public Library and work in their teen zone. This was just a great way to pursue my interest in young adult librarianship, being hands-on, working with other teen librarians, and engaging with teens. I created a series of bibliocommon lists, which I've included the links to here. So you can see some of the work I did in terms of taking books from YALS's College Bound list, putting them into bibliocommons, and adding annotations for each of the lists. I also created hard copies of each of these lists with their annotations that basically would be on display in binders that they have in the teen zone for teens, just to find other reading materials they might be interested in. In addition to this, I was able to do a lot of programming with the teen librarians. So we did some Halloween programming. I was involved in passive programming development, where for Teen Read Week the topic was travel and adventure, so I created some coloring pages as well as a questionnaire about what kind of materials they would take on a desert island. So it was just a really great way to use what I had studied the previous semester and really put that into practice. My study abroad experience is another very unique experience I had that I would highly encourage other ESU students to partake in. I was able to go to Scotland in May. We got to go to a variety of libraries, so I was able to see how different institutions are run, and then also compare those to how we run libraries here in America. I've included a reflective journal I kept of my adventures, as well as a collaborative journal with some of my classmates, and then a series of photographs from the time that I spent there as well. And the last 2 tabs just includes my resume. It's mostly a lot of what I've done in terms of my education as well as library experience, numerous references, and then a full link to my resume at the bottom. And then I've also included a contact list with a contact form. So this concludes my portfolio presentation. I hope that my passion for librarianship has been evident, and I am excited to continue learning from the wonderful foundation I've received through ESU. This has been an invaluable experience that has helped me better understand the profession and where I'm going within it. I cannot wait to begin my career as a librarian and to use the tools I've obtained to better serve the needs of my community. Thank you again so much for viewing my presentation.